This is more an in-depth video about patching. On the top side, we have right here. On top, we have hardware inputs from USB-A, inputs from DAW, 1 to 16, 17, 32, and masters. Masters means outputs from the actual internal DSP. Okay, so these are all different inputs you can have. Local inputs, USB-A, which is multi-track, USB DAW 1 to 16, USB DAW 1732, and the masters. On the right-hand side are all your 24 channels, plus line in left and right that you can connect into if you want to. On the left, we have the channels. We have actual hardware outputs, which is what the UI is set to now. So right now, for example, master left and right are patched into output, physical XLR output, master left and master right. DSP headphone, so the headphone from the functions of the DSP internally are patched into headphone 1 and 2, aux8, 7654321 as such. You could, for example, now do things like patch a actual USB DAW input directly to a hardware output without going through a channel. So it becomes like a real audio interface. So if you wanted to design an 8 and 8 out interface, you can run channel 1 to 8 as your inputs, which go automatically to USB DAW, and then your returns from USB can be to, well, no, I wouldn't run it to the master, just for example. So aux1, aux2, aux3, aux4, aux5, 7, aux8. Now these are patched now directly from USB DAW without going through the actual interface and using up channels, which again means you can run inputs, many more inputs with direct outputs, or set up your fallback and monitors in the studio directly from these here. And then headphone outputs, you can have one headphone output from the UI for mixing. You can have another headphone output from your DAW directly from hardware DAWs. And as you can see, the masters now are not patched because we've unpatched them. Easy enough, go patch 1 to 1. Yes, we're back to normal now. Soundcheck is obviously as before for soundcheck mode, as we've been doing it before with the inputs and outputs, exactly the same way that we had it in the previous, just it's much nicer to do it on this patch bay. The single channel patching is still available. So let's set up something a little bit more complex, as many people wanted to do, for instance, reverb on a delay. So what we can do is we can run to our masters here, okay, and we can take aux10, let's use aux10 for this reason, and we can run aux10 back into input 24. Now what's going to happen here is, let's say if you have some on channel 18, which is what I'm talking into, let's say you have channel 18 some signal, okay, and you send that signal to a reverb, or let's make it a delay, which make it be easier. So we're sending that to a delay, and as you can see on your delay return, you'll have some signal there right now. And then what I can do is I can go to my aux-sends, go to aux10, and bring the delay return up as you would normally do previously. So that's my delay send up on aux10. This now will be coming back, as you can see, into channel 24. As you can see here, suddenly that's my delay return now. Okay, I don't have to send that to the master if I don't want to, because now what I can do is, if you mark that as a delay return, if I want to send that to a reverb, I can go my effect sends, and I can select the reverb, and because we have post and pre, I can go pre-fader, send a reverb. So delay to reverb, very, very easy. Setting up ping pong, for example, is also very possible to do this way by setting up the delays. The delays are actually stereo, so you can have 2 inputs because we have 4 more processing channels now. So a lot more complicated setups that can be done now. So that's aux10 going there. And as I showed you in the quick system previously, if you wanted to set up a hardware output for aux9 and 10 to be a stereo output to headphone 1, that's all you'd need to do. And obviously set up aux 9 and 10 as a stereo aux. If you wanted to, for instance, not use your master outputs and you only use this for a aux mixer, you can set up aux 9 and 10 to go to master output left and right as well. So it's incredibly versatile as far as what's able to be done now with this patch matrix.